Of all the things in astrophotography, perhaps the biggest gremlin of them all is cable management. How do you manage all the various connections and power and USB ports and all the various cables that go to all the various different devices that you may have? How do you manage all that? And how do you keep it from affecting your imaging session? I know for me, the other night, I was imaging and all of a sudden my RA just went crazy and I couldn't figure out why. And my first thought was, maybe I've developed a mechanical problem. So I came out and I investigated. And yeah, I developed a mechanical problem, all right. It was called a snagged cable. As you can see, all these cables hanging down, one of them was bound to get caught up between the pier and the mount as the telescope is, orientated towards its object that I was shooting. And sure enough, it snagged and just messed up about 3 subs before I finally caught it. So what do we do? How do we manage all this? I've gone out and I've looked at all the different things that people have put out there that they use. And this is an expensive hobby if you haven't figured that out yet. It takes a lot of money to do this hobby. And even some of the really neat cable management adapters and cable ways and stuff like that you can pick up, they're like 25 bucks a piece. And so if you've got multiple rigs with a lot of cables, it quickly adds up to a couple $100 in terms of just trying to manage cables. And that's a couple $100 that I can put towards something else, to be honest with you. Which is probably why I haven't done much with my own rig and my own mess. That is until now. Now, I was out looking on Amazon and I found this cool little kit. It was like $15. And it has all these different pieces and parts in here. In fact, there's 192 pieces, which I suspect that a lot of those is the twist ties, but they count each individual twist tie as a particular piece. And that's fine. A lot of places do that. But the point is that I can probably get away with something like this for $15 and do several of my setups and be able to manage my cabling much better than what I'm doing now, which is just a hodgepodge mess. So let's open this thing up and take a look and see what's inside. So here we are, and here we are. So again, the first thing is, twist ties. And these are black twist ties. And I'm assuming that there's probably stick-ons that you can thread these things through in order to tie down things. And there's 100 pieces, so that's 100 of the 192. I'm assuming this is part of that count. So the other nice thing here is you get 4 of these guys, and you can use these things to bundle together cables. And instead of having individual little cables, you can put them all together and basically treat them as one. So you get 4 of these. They look like they're about 2 inches long, which is probably sufficient enough for a telescope, so that's good. So like I say, you get 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there are 2 packages of these. These are Velcro strips, and what you can do is you can cut them and then they basically stick. One side is the nappy side. Here we go, the nappy side. And then the other side is just the things that the naps grab onto. And so you're able to basically cut these to length and use them as tie wraps, which is pretty cool. And you get 2 of these. I don't know how long they are, but you get 2 of these, so that's good. Then if you need something a little shorter and something that's a little more permanent, here are some tie wraps. These ones here, if I can pull these things apart, there we go. And you get, it looks like 1, 2, 4, 6, there's 10 of these. But basically these thread through and you're able to lock down, if you will, onto a cable, and then you're able to do your other cables and boom. So now you've got them locked together, and these things will not, unlike these guys that don't really lock onto anything, these ones here will stay attached to your cable, so that way when you're done at the end of the night, you just bundle up your cables and just wrap it and boom, there you go. So that's what these guys are, which is good. And you get 10 of these, it looks like. Okay. And then these, I don't know how many of these, but these are little stick-ons. There's a little pad there, and you pull it off and you stick it on, and you can put a cable in there and it will hold the cable to wherever you stick this thing onto. And there looks like there's probably about, I don't know, about 10 of these guys, so that's good. These are for individual cables, and then these guys are for cable bunches. So if you've got a whole bunch of cables, then you can thread them in these things, and you can probably even put these guys in here, I'm assuming. Yep, there we go. So if you needed to put one of these guys and just wanted something here to kind of hold it, these clips are big enough that they can do that, which is nice. If I can figure out how to open this thing. There we go. That comes undone. So you've got ones that just have one open space here, and then you've got some here which have individual places for individual cables. And this one here can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cables. So that's good. And what do we got here? You got 2 of these, it looks like. Yeah, you got 2 of these guys. And then you get, looks like 5 of these guys, these bigger raceways. And then we've got, similar to the twist ties or the cable ties here, we got these guys. These again are for single cables, but you basically attach this to wherever you want to attach it to, and then you're able to just do that, and your cable runs right through there. And this is probably good for those times where you want to temporarily lock down that cable, but don't want to make that cable permanent, which is what would happen if you use these guys. So this allows for you to be able to then open that up and take the cable out. So this is probably pretty good for cables that are running up the mount, and I can already get some ideas as to how I might be able to use these. And you've got Looks like you got 2, 4, so you got 6 of these guys. Then here's some clear. Again, these are for single cables. What's nice about these is that, again, you pull that off, you stick it on, and you're able to put a cable this way and then a cable that way. So you can see here, you put a cable in here, and then the other side of the cable goes here, and it basically keeps it from moving. And again, this is probably pretty good if you've got a cable running lengthways and you want to be able to lock it down. This is probably pretty good. And you've got, looks like 5 of those. And then you've got these guys. If I can open the package. Again, these are very, very similar to these. These are a little bit different. These are a little bit bigger. So if you got a bigger cable, these ones are smaller. So you can put a larger cable in these and then a smaller cable in these. You might be able to fit 2 cables in there because it's got a little bit of length to it this way. So you might be able to squeeze 2 cables in there. What else do we have here? Yeah, these are what you use your twist ties with, or your cable ties. Yeah, so these things here, they basically stick on wherever you put them, and there's 4 sets of holes, and you just put your cable ties through those, and you're able to lock things down. So this is a more permanent solution if you wanted to use this more permanently. Whereas this right here, you can at least remove the cable and it's a more temporary solution. Same as with these. These are more temporary solution. These are for a more permanent solution. If you want to fix something and not have it, you know, get loose, this is probably a pretty good, and there's probably about, I don't know, 20 of these pieces in there. And again, with 100 twist ties, you can easily cut them, and if you needed to, and then you can put more twist ties in there if you needed to lock it down again. So it allows you some flexibility there. And then our last package here has a lot of pieces and parts in it. So here we've got a cable. You can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cables in here, and they just pop right in there. And again, it sticks, so you would stick this on, and this one here does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cables, and again, you stick this on. And then you've got some here that are single cables, and these do fairly large cables. And then you've got some here which have 2 cables. Then you've got ones here with smaller cables, but they're bigger, longer raceways there. And then you've got some here that can do 3 cables. So you get a lot of options here. So you get 2 of these guys, which do large cables. And then you get 2 of these guys, which do thinner cables, but it does 2 of them. And then you get 2 of these guys, which do 3 cables. And then you get one here that does 2 cables, bigger cables. And then you get one here that does 5, and one here that does 7. So all in all, not bad for 15 bucks off of Amazon. The link is down below. And with this kit, I am going to rewire my rig so that I don't get any more cable snags when I'm imaging. And so if you found this to be helpful, please go ahead and click down below and subscribe. Otherwise, here are some other videos that you can view that are along the same vein. So until next time, clear skies and happy guiding.